Good evening, live from Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium, where unfortunately the Hoos fell short tonight in overtime to the Duke Blue Devils in the ACC Championship. I'm Jack Lowe. Welcome to another edition of the Cavalier Connection podcast. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Man, it hurts, don't it? It really hurts to be this close, but Virginia could not pull it out. Before I get started at all, I really want to thank Mintzer's, our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Mintzer's UVA and printed sportswear. Go check out your location closest to you, whether it's at Stonefield on the corner. You can see my breath. It's pretty cold out here. Or online at mintzers.com. They've got all sorts of stuff. Like it's cold out here. You need your coats, jackets, your quarter zips, man. They've got you covered. I know my dad recently got a quarter zip from there, and he absolutely loves it. He wears it almost every single day. You definitely want to go check out your Mintzers. Get all your gear. Hey, now that football season is basically over, just a bowl game left. It's all into basketball gear. Go get your basketball jerseys. A lot of people like to wear the overalls to the basketball games, man. Go check out Mintzers. With that being said, the football season's not over, but it feels over, right? Coach Elliott and his staff and the players, they all talked about the same thing over and over during the season, before the season. Making sure my mic's still on. Their goal was they wanted to win an ACC championship. And, man, did they come so close. That's what hurts. The season's not over, but this was the biggest goal of this team. Everybody on this team wanted to win an ACC championship. And they got, and I just realized I spelled the title wrong. I put AC instead of ACC championship. I apologize. Brain's not really working. It's late at night. It's been a long day. But listen, they got there, man. They were picked 12th. Or 14th, I think it was, 14th in the ACC. They made it to the final two. It's tough to be happy right now. This loss really sucks. Coach Elliott came in for his press conference, and you could see almost a tear in his eye. Like, you know how much this meant to him to get this done, and he just wasn't able to do it. Started out slow. Duke drove all the way down the field, got their touchdown. Virginia didn't do anything on offense. The interception by Corey Costner, though, was huge in that second Duke possession to give Virginia great territory. They were able to score their first touchdown of the game there. That was huge. That was huge for Costner to make that play. If he doesn't make that play, I definitely do not think that we get an overtime game. So big play for him. But overall, man, stuff just felt slow. It's almost like they didn't come ready to play. Between the defense, man, even if Duke didn't have the greatest offensive numbers or didn't score that many points, it doesn't change the fact that where's my train of thought? It doesn't change the fact they held the ball for so long. I don't know if I have time of possession here. I hope I do, so I can mention it. Possession time. Duke had 34 minutes and 24 seconds. Virginia had 25 minutes and 36 seconds. And really, when you think about Virginia's last drive, their last couple of drives to even get it to overtime, that alone is so much of the possession time. But even then, Duke still outlasted Virginia by almost 10 minutes. That hurt the Cavaliers so bad. The defense could not get off the field. A lot of stupid stuff in the first quarter and the first half. Jumping off sides on a 4th and 7 on a punt. That's inexcusable. I think it was Jacob Holmes who jumped off sides on that one. And then you had the fake punt, which Duke drew it up well. Credit to Duke. They executed really well. And they executed a fake punt. I mean, it sucks. You've got to obviously I fault the team for that, but it's tough. You don't see it coming. I mean, you do what you can do, and they didn't put a stop to it, unfortunately. Clearly they had no clue that was even in the playbook for Duke, and it happened. But that offsides by Jacob Holmes really hurt. That turned into a touchdown. That was the first drive, actually. That turned into a touchdown the other way, basically after Duke converted on the 4th and 2. And Duke was so good. I wonder if I have third down stats. I don't think. Let's see. I don't have a full book with me. I only have the initial stats. They didn't print us full books. They don't have third down conversions. Here we go. So 6 for 16 on third down, which doesn't feel as good as I thought it was. But, again, you look at early in the game, that's when it really mattered. But on fourth down, Duke was 4 for 4 on fourth down tonight. 4 for 4. And that was a killer. Multiple times Virginia tried to get off the field, and they couldn't. Duke was converting fourth down after fourth down after fourth down. Really just rough. They could not get off the field, could not get a stop. Other than that Corey Costner interception in the first quarter, the defense could not find a way to get off the field. Darian Mensah, the quarterback for Duke, finished 19 for 25 for 196 yards. Of course, he had the one interception. And he did throw for 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked one time all night, which hurt. I really think the pass rush lacked tonight. They really needed to get after him more. And even when Coach Rudd did draw up blitzes, we weren't getting to Mensah. And he had the one play where it was third down. Now, Virginia ended up making the stop anyways later in the drive, but third down before the 2-minute timeout, huge opportunity to get off the field. And he spun around a couple of potential sacks. Melton was in there. I think Holmes was in there. All sorts of defensive linemen. Rickert was in there trying to get after him, had hands on him or was very close, and he got out of all of it, spun around, and made a throw, first down. Like, the guy just could not be stopped at certain times. But as for the run game, Nate Shepard, the freshman for Duke, had a great night, finished with 21 touches for 97 yards, just short of that 100-yard mark, and got a touchdown himself. His longest was 16 yards. He averaged 4.6 a carry. And then also Anderson Castle has 16 carries for 37 yards. Duke was able to run the ball a lot, and that's, again, some of those drives where Duke was running off all that clock, and there's a train in the background if you hear that background noise. Duke ran the clock so much, they were able to continue to barely get first downs, convert on third down, convert on fourth down. Just couldn't stop them. Receiving for Duke, Cooper Barkate finished with 5 carries, 91 yards, or excuse me, 5 receptions, 91 yards. Landon King, he's not on here. Never mind. He had a big reception earlier. Nate Shepard had 5 receptions for 31 yards, and then 2 touchdowns for Jemiah Hazley, who had 3 receptions, 19 yards, but those 2 touchdowns were big. Overall, man, Duke they got it done. They came ready to play. Virginia just looked slow to start the game. Of course, they had their surge in the fourth quarter, which I think the fan base is kind of split on. Half the people thought they hadn't given up because Virginia's done this multiple times this year. Then the other half's like, there's no way. And it was tough to believe that Virginia would even have a chance. They were down 20-10 pretty late in this football game. They found a way to even get it to overtime, which is incredible. We'll get to that in a moment. But some numbers for Virginia tonight. Chandler Morris finished with 21 completions of 40 attempts, 2 interceptions. Obviously, one was very big at the end. 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked once, which is kind of astonishing. But if you look at the QB hurries, which I don't have on this stat sheet with me, he was under pressure all night long. You're playing with an injured Mikhail Boley who had a high ankle sprain. Elliott talked about it. He pushed through. Normally, that'd be a couple weeks he'd be out, but since it was the championship game, he pushed through. But other than that, man, the offensive line was struggling all night long. Duke was getting pressure left and right multiple times. So that was more stats. As for running, Virginia ran the ball well. There's multiple times where they would run all the way down the field, but could not punch it into the end zone. Especially opening that second half where they had to settle for 3. Ran all the way down the field. I wish I had the drive recap with me. I could give you the play-by-play because it really was astonishing. They were running the ball so well. Harrison Whaley finished with 11 touches for 68 yards or 66 yards. And then Jamari Taylor, he looked a bit banged up, but he seemed to be okay enough to play, had 15 touches for 65 yards. And he got to that 1,000-yard mark, which is outstanding. Pretty early he was able to get to that one. Yeah, they ran the ball well. They couldn't get into the end zone with the run, but overall they were able to get down the field with the run, especially on that final possession where they sent it to overtime. Whaley had that 19-yard rush breaking off a tackle, which was huge. Tip the cap to Whaley, man. He fought tonight. As for receiving, Cam Ross had 5 receptions for 59 yards. Jamari Taylor had 4 receptions. He was getting the ball a lot on those little dump-offs. 4 receptions for 34 yards, and he had a touchdown, of course. I think it was the first touchdown of the game, actually, for Virginia, of course. And then Edrin had 3 touches or 3 receptions for 42 yards, which, man, anytime Morris threw like some sort of curl to him, man, Edrin's able to find a way to grab the ball, man. He's so big, so tough. Edrin gave it his all tonight. That's pretty much it offensively. Again, I don't have the full defensive stats. We weren't provided one. But the tackle leaders for Virginia tonight. Devin Neal had 7, James Jackson had 7, Maddox Marcellus had 7, and then Corey Cosner had 5 as well. And Corey Cosner and Maddox Marcellus both shared a tackle for loss, so half a tackle for loss apiece for them. That's pretty much all the stats. We can talk about it a little more here before we get out of here. It's really late here in Uptown Charlotte. I got to get back, but Virginia just came out flat. I think that's literally. I know there's a lot of question marks around the play calling around Des Kitchings, and say what you want. I mean, to be honest, I kind of want to watch it back. I don't really know my full opinion on it yet. I think there were times where he was good in this game, and he was underrated, but there were certainly some head scratchers, especially when we got to overtime. I thought Morris played his heart out. Again, he was under pressure on his feet all night long, and again, there was multiple throws where he was hit after the throw. Now, I'm not saying it should have been penalties. What I am saying is he was getting hit left and right. Even if he only took 1 sack, he really the stat sheet doesn't do justice to how good the Duke defensive line was tonight. He was always on the run, but again, ran the ball well. Jamari Taylor, Harrison Whaley had such a great effort tonight. But again, it doesn't mean anything if you can't punch it in the end zone or if you can't convert on third down. There's some stupid penalties too. Holds, false starts, just some dumb stuff. Obviously, the offsides on the punt where Virginia shot themselves in the foot. But if we're being honest with ourselves, Duke shot themselves in the foot even worse late in this game, and that's one of the only reasons Virginia was able to get back into this game. Duke had the illegal formation, which saved a timeout for Virginia. They didn't have to burn one of the timeouts, as well as a couple of pass interferences, a holding call on that last drive. Just a lot of dumb stuff that Duke was doing. They were shooting themselves in the foot, and yeah, so it is what it is. Virginia falls short, and I think I tell it. Wow, I put the title as shot. Wow, my brain's not working. I guess title's wrong. I apologize. I'll get that fixed after this. But Virginia falls short. Obviously, players and staff are very upset, but it is what it is. It sucks, but it doesn't take away the fact that Virginia had a very not legendary, but a very good regular season. They won 10 football games. At the end of the day, Virginia fans should be thankful for that, I think. Winning 10 games was huge. They beat Virginia Tech, obviously, which sounds dumb, but it's getting a monkey off your back. And, now they have a chance to go win a bowl game, potentially a good bowl game, I would think, to get to number 11, which would be a school record if they were able to get to that. So pretty much that's going to wrap us up tonight. Appreciate all of you for tuning in tonight. Again, Wahoo's falls short, final score 27-20. And also, I'll mention this too. Virginia also very bad penalty on James Jackson. I didn't see it. I don't know if it was bad or not. But a roughing the passer penalty, I wasn't paying attention to that part of the field. I was just paying attention to the fact Duke scored a touchdown. So, but that set the offense back very heavily in overtime. So that hurt, and I think that kind of poises that trick play call that Des tried to call. And I really wish Chandler didn't throw the ball. I mean, it was a bad play call to begin with, but man, Chandler's just got to throw that ball away instead of trying to force it. I think he thought that he could maybe get something done, but clearly it did not. So that's going to wrap us up. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Hey, go check out thecavalierconnection.com. We're going to break this loss down more on there, as well as right here on YouTube, the Cavalier Connection, as we're going to break this down more. Preview bowl game. We still got basketball talk going on there, so you can check that out. And that's going to wrap us up tonight. Go check out Mincers and be able to look out for more stuff. Go Hoos. All right. Have a good night, everybody.